Watchalong on the Ultimate Sports Media page. Tonight, from the Lone Star State, the Dallas Stars play host to the Chicago Blackhawks in a matchup that features two teams with very different spots here in the standings. As we look here at my blown up face, my name's Jaric Rubel, as we had a new intro here and didn't realize it would blow me up like that after, but I'm so glad to have you with me here on this hockey day in America. And it's a Sunday where the sun isn't setting just quite yet across North America as we spring forward here in the United States. And in this game for the Dallas Stars, it's been a stretch of hockey that's had the entire league taking notice as they come into tonight having earned points in 11 straight games. And though their impressive 10-game winning streak did come to a close against Colorado, it ended up propelling them to points in 11 straight games and surging near the top of the Western Conference standings. And tonight, they have a chance to extend their point streak to 12 games, something this franchise has not accomplished since 2019. And as the playoff race tightens, Dallas has made sure to reinforce their roster at the trade deadline as they added veteran defenseman Tyler Myers to the back end and forward Michael Bunting as they were brought in to add experience, size, and depth for what the organization hopes will be a long run here in the spring in Dallas. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the focus remains squarely on the future. The Hawks were busy sellers at the deadline this past week, moving out several veteran pieces, including defenseman Connor Murphy, forward Colton Dock, forward Jason Dickinson, all to the Edmonton Oilers. And then Nick Foligno was sent to the Minnesota Wild, so the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks has departed. But there are still new faces arriving here, as well as forward Andrew Mangiapane was acquired in the trade with Dickinson and Dock from the Oilers as he made his Blackhawks debut on Friday in a loss to the Canucks, and he'll look to make an impact here this evening as against the Stars he has decent career numbers, as in his career against Dallas he's got 11 points in 16 games. So he has found ways to light the lamp here in the Lone Star State. And of course, the spotlight always finds Chicago's young superstar Connor Bedard. Tonight marks a milestone moment for the kid as Bedard will skate in his 200th game already of his NHL career, continuing what was already becoming one of the most exciting young careers already in the sport. So tonight, he skates in career game number 200. It's a clash of momentum and a rebuilding ambition. A red-hot Dallas club looking to keep piling up their points in the Central Division against the Chicago team, eager to spoil the party and continue shaping its future. The Hawks are 2-0 versus the Stars this season and are looking for the season series sweep here today. And it's coming up next. It's the Blackhawks and the Stars. Tonight's starting goalies, and most importantly, the drop of the puck is just moments away, so stay with me. You're listening to the NHL with Jaric Rubel on the Ultimate Sports Media page, live right here on YouTube. Back with you here in Dallas as we're set to begin this game between the Stars and the Chicago Blackhawks. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goalies. In goal for the Chicago Blackhawks, it's Arvid Soderblom getting the nod. He's 6-10-2 on the year with a 3.69 goals against average and an .876 save percentage. Got his first career shutout last week against the Utah Mammoth. He'll go up against Casey DeSmith of the Dallas Stars here tonight. He's 13-4-5 on the season, a 2.25 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. His career against Chicago, though, 1-3 with a 4.31 goals against and an .852 save percentage. Ritzkovian against Green on the draw, and the Stars control as they dump it into the end down to our left as they attack right to left in this opening frame. Jaric Rubel here with you on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. So glad you're with me on this Sunday early evening. Blackhawks attacking left to right in this period, wearing their traditional road whites with their black numerals and lettering on their jerseys outlined in red. And then they have the black pants as well with the white and red stripes down the sides. And then the Stars in their throwback uniforms tonight, throwing it back nearly to 1999 with this design, as it's mainly black with a star outline in green on the bottom with white trimming that out. It's white numerals on the back of the jerseys, and then black overall on the chest and the shoulders with black helmets. 50 seconds into this hockey game as Tyler Bertuzzi rings one around in the Dallas zone. It came up the near wing and it'll send Robertson out the center. He played it ahead for Maverick Bourque, who's been hot. Dropped it for Johnston, played it in the slot, couldn't connect, and now Nazar collects and turns the other way up the far left wing. He crisscrosses into the Stars zone, left it near circle for Teravainen's backhander. That'll be caught and held by DeSmith for our first whistle 70 seconds into tonight's game. Let's take a look at the Blackhawks lines in tonight's contest, as the top line with Bedard will consist of him with Green and Burakovsky. Nazar out there in line 2 with Teravainen and Bertuzzi. Line 3, Oliver Moore between Andrew Mangiapane and Ilya Mikheyev. And then Nick Lardis back up on the team as he's on line 4 with Ryan Donato and Landon Slaggert. Defense pairings as such, it's Vlasic with Crevier, Kaiser with Renzel, and Grzelcyk with Levshunov. It'll be Bedard for this draw for Chicago. He'll go up against Matt Duchene for Dallas to the left of DeSmith. Now Bedard getting tossed out. Riley Green steps in, probably a blessing in disguise, but the Stars win control anyway as Jamie Benn, the captain on the far wing, escapes to center. Played it over the Blackhawk line into their zone. Grzelcyk for the Hawks played it behind his net to the near side. Levshunov up the wing for Burakovsky. He's tied up with Harley along the boards. Harley trying to pry a puck free. It came free to him, and now he'll play it free to Ben in the slot, but it bounced off his stick to the far corner. Played it behind to the trapezoid for Steele. Rode off his blade. Tried to be grabbed by Green. Couldn't. Played back to the point by Ben for Harley left side. His flip shot gobbled up and not held by Soderblom as the rebound went to the near corner. And now Riley Green's on it for Chicago, and he'll head out. Over the logo, he goes with Bedard, far wing. Connor Bedard over the Stars line. Dropped it when it got some help from Kaiser, as Kaiser now on the far wing put on the brakes. Skates towards the middle, dropped it Bedard, waiting. Slid it far circle. A shot by Burakovsky gets blocked, and it goes out of play. And a stoppage with 17:57 to go in the first period. Let's take a look now at the Dallas Stars lines here tonight, as they're on home ice trying to extend their point streak to 12 straight games. Johnston on the top line between Robertson and Bourque without Rope Hintz, who's out with a lower body injury for some indefinite amount of time. Duchene on the second line with Ben and Steele. They've been good over the last week. Ritzkovian with the new guy Bunting and Adam Ernie. Then Oscar Beck with Blackwell and Bastion on line 4. Deep pairings, Lindell with Heiskanen, Harley with Lundqvist, and Liam Bischel with Tyler Myers. Bischel 6'7", and Myers 6'8", a huge defense pairing for Dallas on the third pair. They win a D-zone draw and play a puck up the near wing into the Chicago end of the ice. As down to our left, Bischel controls at the left point. Slid it across where a shot by Myers got fought off by Soderblom. Rebound to the near circle. Blackwell couldn't corral it, but Kaiser will. And now Kaiser slings it up the near wing for Mikheyev. Got hit there by Bischel. The puck rides behind into the Stars' corner on the near side. Morrill center, but it got blocked right back to him. And Tyler Myers from behind his own net will try and escape. Lost it. More a takeaway as he played it up to the near point, but Levshunov's not there, and he has to skate back to his own zone. 17-13 remaining. First period of play. Scoreless so far in Dallas. Shots are 2 shots apiece here for each of these two clubs as Nick Lardis for Chicago heads over the line at center. Dropped it in the slot for Donato. Tried to pull the trigger, but it got blocked and came back to him at the near circle. Gave it to Levshunov, who gave it back. Donato let it go down low. Lardis. Now it came up high to Grizzlick, but his pass went off a skate and ricocheted to center. And Levshunov now must turn back yet again. Artem Levshunov, the second overall pick in the 2024 draft, got it as far as the red line before Bunting and the Stars take back over as Heiskanen plays it behind his own net to Lindell. Miro Heiskanen, 10 assists in his last 9 games against the Blackhawks. Up the near wing it goes for Ritskovian over the Chicago line, but lost possession as now Teravainen also can't do anything with it. Lundqvist will put it into the near corner, but Chicago's able to send it back to neutral ice. Maverick Bourque with space will reset for Dallas as he's at the end of his shift. He decides to just dump it on in, or he's going to head back now into the near corner, as I beg your pardon. He just didn't want to chase after his own dumping initially, as the Hawks end up with it at center, and Nazar will touch it back, and Crevier will go D to Vlasic on the far left wing. Vlasic now over the red line at center, played it near side over the Stars line for Bertuzzi. Tried to play it down low, but it's taken away by the Stars, and Bourque's out through center past the penalty boxes. One-armed it into the Hawk zone in the near corner. Crevier did a good job to separate himself and move it back up the near wing, and Bertuzzi will go rink wide to Vlasic, who now in front of his own bench will get it to Nazar, who's at the end of a shift, and he'll snap it on in and head to change. DeSmith will leave it in the far corner for Lindell to move it up ahead. Jamie Benn trying to get by Burakovsky doesn't get beyond the red line, however. Duchesne tried to one-arm it back to him, but Sam Rinzel takes back over for Chicago with 4.5 played so far in this scoreless first period. Jaric Rubel, so glad you're with me here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page as Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks try and make some offense happen, but Bedard fell over on as he blew a tire, and up the near wing comes Duchesne. 2-on-1, sends it across, and Steele fanned on the shot. Tried to throw it on net as he gathered himself, but it got blocked by Rinzel. Back behind the goal, Duchesne out of the near corner. Matt Duchesne, a hot killer, tried to backhand it to the far wing, couldn't, as Bedard grabs it, got hit by Duchesne, but is able to move it along for Green, who's through center. On the far wing into the Stars zone, left it for Rinzel, played it back behind the Stars cage, but Heiskanen's there to get it back up for Ben, who moved it out to center, and now each team changes again. Through center, the Blackhawks will come up with Oliver Moore on the near wing. Over the Stars line he goes, but his cross-ice pass got cut off a skate. And now Bischel will get it to the red line and beyond into the Hawk zone. Behind that goal line, Levshunov took a hit, moved the puck up the far right wing or left wing boards. But now it came back to him as he tries to move it up the near right wing. And he ends up icing the puck here this time. And a whistle goes with 14:20 remaining in period number 1. So the Colorado Avalanche ended up dethroning that Dallas Stars point streak a couple of nights ago as they won 5-4 on Friday in a shootout as Valerie Nichushkin tied the game in the final half minute as the Stars were clinging on to a 4-3 lead, but unfortunately they fell victim to the shootout and lost and only gained 1 point in the game, but that point streak's still alive as they're looking to extend it to 12 here today. Off a face-off win, here's Myers in the slot. Robertson robbed by Soderblom in the slot as Jason Robertson had all the time to pick his spot between the circles. And Arvid Soderblom's able to rob him with the glove and get a whistle. Now, Tyler Myers on that play faked the slap shot, and he was able to find Robertson open in the slot. But Soderblom able to make his third stop here of the first period. Top line still out there for the Stars to the right of Soderblom as Johnston's able to win a draw against Donato. To the back, Bischel will fling it to the far corner, and it'll be played up and out by Lardis, as on the near side at center's big Lou Crevier. Over the Stars line he goes. Near wing, it's Landon Slaggert in the near corner. He backhands one around. Donato will meet it in the far and fling it right back. Around it goes to the half boards. Now Crevier put one on net, popped up. Nobody knew where it was. Came to the near half boards now down to our right. And Maverick Bourque will play it behind his own net for Tyler Myers to collect. Goes back this way for Liam Bischel as both teams are changing up their forward cores here with 13:38 to go in period number 1. Adam Ernie with it for the Stars up the near left wing boards into the Hawk zone. Chipped it into the corner. Kaiser on it for Chicago. Moved it up for Teravainen, and now Nazar couldn't move it along. Ernie's back in over the Hawk line at the far circle, pivots to his forehand, dropped it for Lundqvist to drive. That got blocked in the slot. For the far corner, now Rinzel. Up for Bertuzzi. Got it to the logo at center for Teravainen. Kitty cornered it to the near side in the Dallas end. Harley on it first, played it around. Lundqvist tapped it, but nowhere to go as it found Nazar. Nazar slung it this way for Levshunov. Tipped it on net. They score! Tyler Bertuzzi right on top of the blue paint. And the Hawks strike first. 1-0 on the road in Dallas. So Tyler Bertuzzi already had 2 goals this season against Dallas already, gets his 3rd as he gets the opening marker of this contest on a near side flip shot by Levshunov, just looking for a redirect in front. And Tyler Bertuzzi, standing right on top of the paint in front of Casey DeSmith, was able to direct it in off the middle of his stick blade near his left hand. And it goes past DeSmith's blocker side for the game's opening goal. So Chicago up 1-0, and when doing so this year, 20-11-5 is their record. The Stars a record of 11-9-9 when giving up the first goal. We'll see where it takes us. Chicago up 1-0 on Tyler Bertuzzi getting his 27th goal this season. So we're back underway at the American Airlines Center as the Stars looking for the equalizer get into Chicago ice now. To the left side in the corner. Here's Lindell centering, and Heiskanen's shot got blocked out of play. And that will send us to a timeout here with 12:30 to go in period number 1. The Blackhawks up 1-0 on a goal by Tyler Bertuzzi as he gets his 27th of the year. And at the start of this weekend, the hockey news was struck with some sad news as Troy Murray, who played 15 NHL seasons and was a longtime analyst for the Chicago Blackhawks, died Saturday following a battle with cancer at just the age of 63 years old. Murray, or Muzz as he was known around the league, was selected by the Blackhawks in the 3rd round of the 1980 NHL draft. Played his first 10 NHL seasons here with the Hawks, played 12 in total in Chicago. And his best season came in 1985-86 when he set NHL career highs in goals with 45, had 54 assists for 99 points total in 80 games. That same season, he won the Selke Trophy, which is awarded to the forward who best excels in the defensive aspects of the game. And during his final NHL season in 1995-96, Murray helped the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup. He then finished his career with 584 points. That was 230 goals and 354 assists in 915 regular season games for Chicago, Colorado, the Winnipeg Jets, Ottawa Senators, and Pittsburgh Penguins. He also had 43 points in 113 Stanley Cup playoff games. And then following his playing career, Murray joined the Blackhawks broadcast team in 1998. He then spent 5 years as a studio analyst until 2004 and 2 seasons as a color commentator before partnering with John Weideman in 2006 up in the WGN radio booth. The duo would go on to call 3 Stanley Cup championship seasons together in 2010, 2013, and 2015. Troy always said to soak it in after a big moment in the United Center, and he sure got to enjoy a lot of those moments, didn't he? I never met Troy myself, but I know people who worked with him on a regular basis at WGN here in Chicago. I was fortunate enough to hear he and John Weideman plenty of times throughout the years on the radio, and even at times on TV. And everyone who knew Muzz had nothing but love to spread about him, and he always spread nothing but love in return. His passing comes far too soon, and our team here at USM offers our condolences to the Murray family and all the friends he made along the way. So welcome back here into Dallas, where the Hawks lead the Dallas Stars 1-0 by a goal by Tyler Bertuzzi. Face off to the right of Arvid Soderblom, won by the Stars. So my name is Jaric Rubel. Glad you've joined me here on a Sunday from Dallas, as Dallas is trying to get this equalizer here after Bertuzzi's 27th of the year from Levshunov and Nazar. Behind the Hawk goal, here's a centering attempt from Heiskanen that'll go off the side of the net to Ben. Took a hit and ram it back around the goal, but Vlasic cut that pass off in the trapezoid. Tried to give it back in the slot, but Ben kept it and knocked it at the near point for Lindell. Along the left wing boards in the near corner, here's Duchesne trying to fight free from Nazar. Ran into Mikheyev now, and his stick gets checked. Puck came up to Lindell, slid it across Heiskanen. In the slot, Ben in front, of tip by Duchesne, and a right pad save by Soderblom. Free puck in the slot. Going to be grabbed now by Mikheyev, and he'll chip it out the other way into the Dallas end. So now the Hawks will make changes as Bastian has possession for Dallas. As through neutral ice, he plays it on the far wall for Beck. Beck tried to play it right for a tip by Bastian, but it missed him and directed off the near wing out to center, as Bertuzzi played it between the benches for Teravainen, who directs it in. Down to the far corner to our right. A collision happens behind the goal, and it came in front. Rinzella's shot, he scores! Oliver Moore was hit hard in behind, and he appears to be banged up. But the loose puck squirted free in the slot to Rinzel, and he picked his spot. And it's 2-0 Chicago. So Sam Rinzel with his third career NHL goal, as Oliver Moore went in with Colin Blackwell on a forecheck for a loose puck in behind, and they both went hard and awkwardly into the end boards and in some distress. And meanwhile, roaring in behind the play to center that puck for the Blackhawks was Teravainen out of the far corner, as he found Rinzel wide open between the circles, and he beat the Smith up high. And the Hawks with a 2-0 lead. And we'll keep an eye on Oliver Moore and Colin Blackwell for their respective clubs, as they both went down following that play, and neither looked to be in great shape, so we'll see if both of those guys are back on the ice anytime soon or not. But it's 2-0 in favor of the Blackhawks here on goals by Bertuzzi and Sam Rinzel. So behind the Hawk net now, Blackwell back out there for the next shift, so he's more than okay. Has the puck now up high, played it across Harley, a shot, got blocked off the right knee of Vlasic in front. Ricocheted back to the far wing where it rattles around the goal, and Harley will meet it in the near corner to our left. Puck now behind the goal for Bastian. Bastian in the far corner, looking for somewhere to go. Played it right back behind for Harley. The defenseman still working down low for Dallas. Left it in that trapezoid for Blackwell. Has plenty of space to work out up high. Centered it across, and it deflected away from Harley. And now Harley caught as Donato trying to get out to center. Might have got hooked there, as the puck will get eventually sent into Dallas ice. No penalty, it appears, as we play on here with 10:20 to go in the first period. So 2-0 Chicago here on the road. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me on the Ultimate Sports Media channel, as I'll be back with you on Tuesday as well for the Sharks and the Sabres up in Buffalo. Very excited for that game. Should be a good one between two young and up-and-coming franchises, as now the Hawks trying to get on the Sabres and Sharks level in the coming seasons. Trying to snap it back into Stars ice here, but Levshunov's dumping will get sent right back to center. And Lindell will spring a man ahead. It's Bork. He's hot. He dropped it for Johnston, and it got blocked by a diving Levshunov. Now Lindell trying to save made by Soderblom, as the Stars had a flurry of chances, but the Hawks with a block and a save, able to keep the 2-goal lead intact. Now, Maverick Bork, he's been hot as of late for the Stars, has 4 points in his last 3 games. Tried to drop past to Johnston, but he just could not find the back of the net. As now that line's still out there trying to take back over. Johnston's tied up here behind the play with a Hawk. Looked like Nazar, but those two untangle now. As the puck now in the near corner of the Star zone will be moved up and ahead on the near side. But Kaiser for Chicago grabs it at his own blue line and chips it right back in front of the penalty boxes, where it'll be gloved down by Mikheyev. Taken away though by Ernie. He'll try to backhand one over the Hawk line. It pinballs around near the circles and gets directed back to center by Mangiapane. So the Stars resetting here with under 9 minutes remaining in period number 1, as now a puck will be sent right back into Chicago ice. On it is Rinzel trying to move it up the near glass. Couldn't, as Ritzkovian played it away from him behind the goal for Bunting. Bunting, up high it goes for Myers. His long wrist shot blocked to the far corner. It'll be grabbed by Nazar. Fanned on a clearing attempt. The Stars take back over. Ritzkovian, though, stripped of it by Mikheyev. And now the Hawks get out as Mangiapane chipped it up the near side into Dallas ice. And they'll get a change. Myers takes back over for Dallas. On the near wing now it's Bischel in his own zone, deferring back now to Big Tyler Myers, as he's born in Houston, Texas, though he is a dual citizen. He plays for Canada and all that. He was born in Houston, Texas, and now that marks the first time in Stars history that a Texan-born player will play for the Dallas Stars. So congrats to Tyler Myers on that honor as he heads to change now. The pairing of Lundqvist and Harley steps on the ice, and they're going to look at a rush the other way for Chicago up the far left wing. Bertuzzi left it. Teravainen got it back to Bertuzzi. Dropped it in the slot for Green, but it was at his feet. Nudged it to the near point for Levshunov. And from Bertuzzi through the legs, and it didn't get put on net as he almost went showtime here, as the Hawks are all over Dallas here offensively. In this first period, they've had a lot of high-octane chances already, but still, Dallas just keeping it alive here, as it could be 3 or 4-1 here in favor of Chicago. The Stars have had some chances as well, but both of these teams really just zipping the puck up and down the ice. And now the Hawks' fourth line coming through center with speed as Lardis over the line, left it far wing for Donato. Donato will play it back behind the Stars net, but Lardis won't get it, as up the near wing it goes for Blackwell. Fished it across for Heiskanen over the red line in the Blackhawks blue. Walked it himself behind the Chicago net, got knocked out of the play though on the near wing. And now it'll be backhanded out through center by Donato. It might be a trip. It will be coming up here on the Hawks, as getting taken down at center was Jason Robertson. To Smith off for the extra attacker, as it'll be the Stars setting up shop behind their own net. Out to center. Robertson leads the way over the Hawk line. Tries to do it himself into the far corner. Shakes off Kaiser. Played it in front. Deflected off a skated. Comes back out to center past the penalty boxes. And still on the delayed penalty here. The Hawks will try and make a change in the process. Heiskanen will leave it back for Duchesne. And here come the Stars again. 6-on-5. Up the near wing. The pass for Bort got taken away, but not cleanly, as the official didn't blow it dead, but Robertson's pass goes right back out the center. So now the Stars have to recoil yet again. Robertson back at his own blue line with 6 minutes to go in the first period. Gets over the logo at center. Near wing Duchesne, one-armed one as he was falling, but it's taken by Green. And now the whistle will go. So with 5:59 to go in the first period, the Dallas Stars will get the first power play of the game, down 2 goals. And that'll happen right when we return on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Back here in Dallas, where the Stars are set for the game's first power play, as Lardis will sit for a trip for Chicago, as these Dallas Stars here have been red hot on the man advantage as of late, as they've scored power play goals now in 8 straight games, looking to make it 9 in a row, as they have scored or haven't scored in 10 straight games since March of 2006. So they're trying to get within one of that. They'll have to do it against the number 1 PK in all of hockey, as the Blackhawks sit at 85.5% best in the NHL on the penalty kill. The Stars power play second in the NHL at 30%, first at 31% on home ice. Face off to the right of Soderblom. Green against Duchesne. Duchesne loses it as the Hawks get possession as Green won it to Crevier. Across Vlasic won't clear. It's kept by Ben. To the near wall, Duchesne. Backhand pass taken away by Mikheyev. He has a few shorties this year already. He's up the near wing, trying to ring it through his legs on the near side at the circle, but Heiskanen takes him into the near corner boards, and the puck comes free to Johnston. The Stars, with 20 seconds already elapsed on their power play that's powered by YouTube. Subscribe to this brand new YouTube channel that Matt, Seth, and I are all trying to regrow here as the Stars enter back into the Hawk zone on the left wing. Duchesne, another pass that goes out of the zone, and Heiskanen will have to chase back with 80 seconds remaining now on this power play for the Dallas Stars. Heiskanen now will leave it back. And here comes Matt Duchesne. Matt Duchesne with just 7 power play points this year. Left it for Johnston, who leads the league in power play scoring with 33 points. And he could tie a record here with a power play goal tonight that'll tie Dino Ciccarelli for most power play goals in a Stars season with 22. But the Stars have to reset here at center again after Robertson and Heiskanen couldn't connect on a clean pass at the blue line. So Johnston will motor it up through the logo at center. Left it at the logo for Ritzkovian. Johnston heads to change, and at the logo, Maverick Bork will leave it near wing for Robertson over the Hawks line. Jason Robertson, top of the near circle to the net, deflected over the crossbar by Ritzkovian. To the far wall, it's played up to Harley at the far point. Now along the wall on the far side again, it's backhanded down low by Bunting. Controlled by Bork to the net. Right pad save Soderblom. It's free in the paint and a backhand by Ritzkovian's covered by Soderblom as he gave up a loose change opportunity with room through the 5-hole. But Ritzkovian unable to bury it as Soderblom gets the cover for the whistle. So he had not one but 2 tries, Ritzkovian did, as when Bork made that pass across, it did go off a Ritzkovian stick before hitting the right pad of Soderblom. Then he had a follow-up opportunity as well. But Arvid able to hold his ground in the blue paint. Face-off coming up to his right between Nazar and Bunting after getting tossed out as Ritzkovian. Now Nazar able to win it back. Mikheyev will control. And he snaps it down the ice here in the final 20 of the Stars' man advantage. So down to the final 10 as Harley starts it back up again. As Thomas Harley, played for Team Canada in the Olympics, has it over the Hawk line with a wrist shot missed to the blocker side of Soderblom. As around to the near corner, Ritzkovian will ring it to the far. Bork will touch it back down low. Penalty time now up. Lardis out of the box here for Chicago. As Vlasic trying to clear, can't quite get it out yet. Nazar trying to help him on the far left wing as he makes Ritzkovian miss a couple of times. And now the puck set down the ice and both teams able to change. 3:40 remaining here in this first period. Jaric Rubel with you on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Hawks with goals by Bertuzzi and Rinzel lead it by a pair of goals as the Stars. Blackwell centering in front for Beck and a save again by Soderblom. Beck on his own rebound from the far wall. Played it up to Bischel. A knuckle puck goes in! I believe Bastian got a piece of the Bischel shot and the Stars get one back. It's 2-1. So Beck was able to get his own rebound off the save by Soderblom off the far wing. And he rotated it back up to the far point where Bischel's shot deflected off the stick of the Chicago player Burakovsky, the knuckle to Bastian. And I believe that went off Bastian's hand as he celebrated with the left fist pump and got past Arvid Soderblom. And Dallas gets one back before the period ends. So Bastian with just his 6th goal on the year is now off the ensuing face-off. It looks like we're going to have a do-over as everything was quite awkward as play wanted to resume. But Bastian able to tip in that knuckle puck that came in off the shot by Liam Bischel. And it'll be Bischel's 6th point of the year as well. And now off the draw, this faceoff goes into the Hawks bench for a stoppage. And now Mangiapane and Jamie Benn are going to get into a little bit of a conversation. I know those two had some playoff moments together a couple of seasons ago when Calgary and Dallas got into it back in 2022. As now they'll part their separate ways, and we'll head to break here with 3:17 remaining here in Dallas. Chicago up by a score of 2-1 now after Dallas got one to cut the lead in half, courtesy Nathan Bastian. 3:17 to go, period one in Dallas, as Nathan Bastian got one back for the Stars just a moment ago to cut the 2-0 lead in half for Chicago, as it's been a 3-goal opening period here in Dallas. Again, Jaric Rubel, so glad you joined me here on a Sundays. It's been a busy day on the Ultimate Sports Media channel, as currently going on is the NASCAR race out in Phoenix. Now we'll have some college basketball after, as Matthew Owens has the NASCAR. I have the hockey, and Seth Eves has the basketball for you on this Sunday. Hawks win a draw in front of their own bench at center as it goes up the near wing. Might be an icing, though it will be, as Nazar won't get there before Tyler Myers does. So 8 seconds elapse, and with 3:09 remaining, an icing whistle will put an ozone draw down to our left for the Dallas Stars. In this building against Chicago, it's been good for the Dallas Stars. They did lose their last time out here in this building, 4-3 in a shootout, but prior to that, 3-1, 4-2, 8-1, and a 5-4 overtime win, as they were able to light the lamp plenty against Chicago and get 2 points here in this building, as they've been able to get points in each of their last 5 meetings against Chicago in this building, and we'll see what the story has in store for us tonight. As with under 3 minutes to go now in this first period, Dallas's Bischel turned a puck over at his own zone. Nazar put it behind the net for Bertuzzi to put on the near wing. Teravainen got tied up by Duchesne, but Nazar a good job to scorch in and get that loose puck. Played it around the goal. Kaiser from the far point put it towards the net, came in behind to the trapezoid. Nazar touched it far wall. Bertuzzi slug it back down low, but it's taken away by Myers, and he played it back to the logo. Kaiser on it for Chicago, goes this way for the ex-Golden Gopher, Sam Renzel. Had it stripped away by Sam Steele, as Sam Steele trying to get up the near wing, had help from Wyatt Johnston to snap it in, as he now heads to change. Puck behind the Chicago net to our left, put up the near wing by Renzel for Mikheyev, got cut off though by Harley, and the Hawks will try again. 2:08 remaining here. Period one, as the Hawks make changes on the fly. The fourth line hops on as Donato goes on the far wing over the Stars line. Lost it, but it came free to the point for Crevier. To the far circle, it'll be played down low around to the near corner by Donato to Mikheyev. Mikheyev back to the point. Vlasic to Donato. Tough angle shot goes off the side of the net on the far side. Came around the goal to Mikheyev on the near wing. Now Crevier's shot off the right pad of DeSmith it goes, and he will take a whistle with 106 seconds remaining in period one. Shots 10-6 in favor of the Stars. Hawks leading it 2-1 here on some bonus hockey on USM tonight. So good puck movement here by the Blackhawks, as the play was very similar towards how the deflection by Bastian happened for Dallas, as Bastian and Bertuzzi here with deflections off of shots from the far point that came from defensemen, as Bertuzzi got one on top of the paint with his hands. Bastian a little more in the slot with his deflection, but hit him in the same area, as we're having a Joe Pavelski night here, so to speak, in Dallas, as everybody's tipping pucks on that. Shout out the best deflector, in my opinion, in NHL history, former Dallas star Joe Pavelski. And no better time to shout him out as well than on Hockey Day in America, as I'm sure he's watching some hockey somewhere, as he might be tuned into this Dallas game himself. So down to our right in the final 80 of this first period, a four-man scrum that's dug out by the Stars. Heiskanen trying to move it ahead. Bedard did the splits, almost how Hintz fell the other night. Now he goes right back after Heiskanen, and Bedard back up healthy and okay, as you couldn't help but worry after seeing how Hintz got injured the other night. It might happen to Bedard too. Meanwhile, near wing into the Hawk zone, Heiskanen a flip shot gobbled up easily by Soderblom with the glove, as he'll take a whistle with 1:01 remaining in the first period. But yes, I was talking about Roope Hintz of the Dallas Stars, as he is now put on IR. The Stars hoping he'll be back for the playoffs, but if you're watching along on TV, Connor Bedard, full splits with his legs. I'm surprised he didn't tear a groin or anything. Glad he didn't, wearing the Bedard jersey. Shout out Connor. But Roope Hintz, he'll be out for the foreseeable future after getting tangled up with McKinnon on Friday and just destroying a part of his lower body. So back out to center ice is Oscar Beck as the Stars reset in the final 50 of the period. Puck sent into the near corner of the Hawk zone, where now a six-man scrum will ensue for that free puck, and Beck will grab it for Dallas. Can't move it up the near wing, though, as it's taken away. Bertuzzi gave it right to Myers, though. The big drive save, rebound back, couldn't get it on net. It's still free. Now Soderblom covers, as he'll take a whistle with 32.5 to go, as that was helter-skelter there in front of the Blackhawk net. As this line of Oscar Beck, Colin Blackwell, and Nathan Bastian been real impressive here in the first period for Dallas, as this group's getting pucks on net and it's chaos in front. As another drive, this time by Tyler Myers, came out in front, and then Beck and Blackwell on the doorstep trying to get it home. Just couldn't. They win another O-zone draw, though, to the back for Harley to play to the far wall. Grabbed by Duchesne, swung back up high for Heiskanen. His shot went off the end boards to the near corner. Steele tried to give it back to Duchesne. He does. Or that's Harley, I should say. 55, not 95. Giving it to the captain. Now back across it goes Heiskanen, looking for a tip in the slot by Duchesne. Didn't get it to the net. Now in the final 10, Harley from the blue line. His wrist shot gloves Soderblom. He wants to play it. Went to the far corner. And now Teravainen took a hit. Now Mikheyev delivered one to Ben. Loose puck in front, but time's going to expire, as things are getting a little chippy here between these two teams late in period one. As now Mangiapane and Jamie Benn talking it again. As Andrew Mangiapane just been jawing Jamie Benn this entire first period. And I wouldn't be surprised to see something happen later in this game between those two skaters. But for now, the first period has come to a close between the Stars and the Blackhawks. It was eventful first 20 minutes, as opening the scoring 6:59 in was Tyler Bertuzzi, his 27th of the year from Levshunov and Nazar. Now Nazar up to 20 assists on the year, Levshunov up to his 21st assist on the campaign. And then Sam Rinzel, the defenseman, his third NHL goal, his third of the season, from Teravainen and Oliver Moore. And then the Stars get on the board courtesy Nathan Bastian, 6th of the year from Liam Bichel and Oscar Beck. So overall in that first period, shots 13-6 in favor of the Stars. They also out-hit the Blackhawks 13-3 in that period. The Blackhawks with 6 blocks to the Stars 2. And when leading through 20 minutes so far this season, the Chicago Blackhawks have a record of 6-5-4. Only the 16th time now this season they've led through 20 minutes of play. Meanwhile, the Stars, this is only the 14th time, or 15th time I should say, that they've trailed after 20 minutes. And their record is 8-3-3 on the season. So a rare first period lead and a rare first period trail situation for the Hawks and the Stars, as Chicago leads at 2-1 through 20 minutes of play on goals by Bertuzzi and Rinzel, and Bastian with the goal for the Stars. I'll be back with you for the start of the second period soon. Stick around. It's the Hawks and the Stars. It's the Sunday early evening, and the sun's still out. It's not setting yet. We still got over an hour before that starts to happen. Vibes are high. We're on the push for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I want you here with me on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. Welcome back in to the broadcast on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page. My name is Jaric Rubel, so glad you're with me on this Sunday from Dallas, where the Chicago Blackhawks lead the Dallas Stars here on the road by a score of 2-1 through the first 20 minutes of play. Goals in that first period scored by Chicago's Tyler Bertuzzi, his 27th of the year from Levshunov and Nazar. Then Sam Rinzel scored just a minute and a half after that, his third goal of the year and of his career, from Teravainen and Oliver Moore, who got banged up on that goal as well by Sam Rinzel. Then Nathan Bastian for the Stars, his 6th of the year from Bischel and Beck, as he connected to cut the lead in half for the Blackhawks, who now only hold a 1-goal lead as we begin the second period here tonight. Again, my name is Jaric Rubel. Hello, everybody. Glad you're with me here on this broadcast. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit subscribe, as we very much appreciate all of your help on the Ultimate Sports Media channel, as we had some unfortunate struggles with 2 previous channels that did not stick around, and we had to have a proper funeral and burial for them, but hopefully this one's going to live long and prosper into the coming years. So again, 2-1 Chicago here to start the second period, the third and final meeting of the year between these two teams. They met back in December, as on December 27th, the Blackhawks won 4-3 against the Dallas Stars here in this building. And then a few days later, on January 1st, the Blackhawks won 4-3 again, though this one was a regulation win on home ice at the United Center against the Dallas Stars. And in that game at the United Center, Ilya Mikheyev scored 2 goals in that game. And then on the road game, Tyler Bertuzzi scored 2 goals, and he added another one here tonight in Dallas to give the Blackhawks what was their first lead of the game. And then, of course, the second goal belonging to Rinzel, as Bedard here in his career game number 200, set to begin the second period against Wyatt Johnston with a faceoff at center. That's won by Johnston. The Stars control. They're attacking left to right in this second period. The Blackhawks going right to left. Down to our right, Wyatt Johnston and the Stars go to work in the Hawk zone. In the near right corner, Robertson trying to shake free of Kaiser. Couldn't. Wyatt Kaiser, a great defensive play to pry it away. Came to Riley Green, who played it up to center for Rinzel, who will snap it in from the red line. Behind the Stars goal, DeSmith can't grab it. It came to the near corner, and it came free to Robertson, who will backhand one to Harley, who gets through center. Over the red line, now the Hawks blue. He goes far left wing. Just chipped it into the trapezoid, left it there. Wyatt Johnston can't grab it. Rinzel does, and left it into the near corner where it's a bad play. Robertson will grab it. Nobody moved their legs, Kaiser or Green. There's a bit of miscommunication here for the Hawks, has them hemmed in here behind their own goal line. 50 seconds gone by in the second period as the Stars pry it free from behind the cage. Lindell sent it back behind to the near corner for Duchesne. Duchesne tried to backhand one in front for Lindell. Pass was cut off, but it bounced back to Duchesne as he'll go behind the goal to Ben far corner. Up it goes to the far point. Lindell was not there to grab it, and it'll roll back into Dallas ice, and both teams will make changes. So on the near wing, Heiskanen up to center. Duchesne's touch pass finds Steele into the Hawk zone. Left it far circle for Ben. Had it taken away on a poke check by Bertuzzi and cleared out to center by Levshunov. Resetting at their own blue line on the near side are the Stars. Heiskanen, the alternate captain here, will wrist it on in as Heiskanen donning an A here for Dallas, as he usually does, as now he has to get back in his defensive zone. Bertuzzi trying to win that foot race, could not. And now in front of the penalty boxes, Duchesne able to one-arm a puck past Nazar into Chicago ice. Crevier from behind his own net, intended for Teravainen on the far wing, lost it. The Stars will spin it back behind the Hawk net. To the near corner it goes. Bunting pressed up against the boards by Big Lou. Crevier pried the puck free. It came now to Bertuzzi, who whacked it across the center. And now in front of the Chicago bench, it'll be Bischel playing it this way for Myers. Tyler Myers now, the Houston Texan born here, played it up the near wing, but Bunting can't grab it. And Bertuzzi will flip it back the other way for Chicago, and he'll head off to change. 2:20 played in this second period is in front of the penalty boxes. Mangiapane lost it. Ritzkovian takes it. Left it far wing for Ernie. Tried to feed it back, but it went off a skate to the near corner down to our right. Ritzkovian will backhand it to the far from behind the goal. Bastian played it to a vacant far point. Is unable to get there was Myers, as he was trying to change with Lundqvist and Harley hopping on the ice, but Myers there unable to come up with one. Now a turnover for Green, and his shot goes over the crossbars. Riley Green was given a pizza, but was unable to hit the net and confirm his order. Now back on the far wall, the Stars' Oscar Beck moved it up along on the far wing. Bastian over the Hawk line. Got squeezed out of the play, but Blackwell has space. Right into the slot. He goes to the near circle looking for a tip. Couldn't connect with Big Bishel. Is now on the far wall. A 4-on-1 for the Hawks develops. Here's Donato over the Stars line. Back behind Lardis with a terrible pass. He went. And the Hawks rush is all for naught. Back in the far corner. Donato just gave it right to Oscar Beck. That puck rolls right out of the zone. And Donato started a shift and ultimately ended it, all in miserable fashion. Now back into the far corner of this Dallas zone. It'll be Lundqvist from behind his own net for the Stars, trying to hit Blackwell, but he couldn't get it past Kaiser, who tied him up. But Donato, again, unable to keep a puck here at the left point. And now he has a good idea. He heads off the ice for a change. So it'll be now Bertuzzi, Teravainen, and Nazar on the ice, as Nazar will get a free puck in the far corner, but a good active stick by Bork played it up the wing, but Louis Crevier was there to keep the pressure on at the moment anyways. But the Hawks didn't want to get down low as they thought they were going to get caught. So ultimately the Stars get that free puck and will have an opportunity to start the other way. Now 4 minutes played in the second period. Jaric Rubel here with you live on YouTube as Harley from the near wing for Dallas put it behind the Chicago goal for Robertson to go after it. Crevier still out there trying to poke a puck free. Bork got it though for Dallas. Up to the point it goes Harley. This way Heiskanen in the middle up high. Bork tried to feed it to the far circle Johnston, but a good active stick by Lardis, or Vlasic I should say, pokes it out of play with 15:35 remaining here in the second period. I'm not sure what we're looking at here on the replay. It looked like the refs might have missed an offsides call. It was an awkward play at the blue line, but not worry about that, as I'll remind you guys that coming up this week, the college basketball ACC tournament begins, and we got coverage for you all week long on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page, as you'll catch us live on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the college basketball action with Matthew Owens and Seth Eves covering every game that they possibly can for you guys. So back at center ice come the Hawks. Here's Bedard with the puck, tried to put a shot on net, got tangled up with Lindell and took him down, as I think Bedard, after getting tangled up with Heiskanen, has a bit of feistiness in him, as he seems real aggressive, as he's now tied up behind with Lindell. No penalty coming up as Lindell and Bedard still holding the stick, as it looked like Bedard was just holding on to Lindell's blade there under his right armpit, but the refs let the boys play, as I know Colin in the chat probably doesn't mind that, as referee Jean Hebert called the game for Dallas and Colorado on Friday, and it was power play city in that game for each team, and not so much the case here in this game, as I think that there's been a couple of things each team's gotten away with, and only one power play. So far it belonged to Dallas, and they were unsuccessful. While I talked about penalties and all that stuff, nothing was going on the ice, so you didn't miss any action. As the Hawks here past the penalty boxes, can't get to a puck before Jamie Benn does. He goes across for Liam Bishel between the benches to snap it into Chicago ice down to our right. Vlasic tried to clear, but it's kept by Bishel straight away with a long flip shot blocked in front. Came to the near circle. Duchesne's shot got blocked as well. Now to the far wall, Steele tied up with Donato. Free to the far circle. Crevier can't clear it as he one-armed it but not out. Came back behind the goal. Duchesne in the near corner. Tried to center it. Pinballs to Steele in the slot. Duchesne a shot. Couldn't get it on net as it came off the back of off the far corner boards. Up to the far point it goes for Bishel. This way Myers. Tyler Myers left it in the middle for Steele, who puts it in the area to the near corner. And Vlasic's there for Chicago to get it up to Mangiapane. And out he goes on the near wing. Avoids a big hit from Tyler Myers and takes a look back to check the number after that happened. Goes in behind with Bishel though. Bishel gets that puck, moved it up the near wing. Ritzkovian will turn it on his backhand for Ernie up on the near side over the Hawk line, driving on his forehand to the goal. Couldn't get a shot free as Rinzel poked it off his blade. Now on the far wall, Lardis played it in front of the penalty boxes, but Bedard won't get there. Lundqvist will, and he'll snap it right back down to our right for Dallas. Behind the Chicago net, Sam Rinzel laid it up the far wing on a bounce pass that went past Lardis, and now back into possession of Dallas's Lundqvist. Lundqvist on the near side, straight ahead over the Hawk line. Ernie, near wing, it's Ritzkovian at the circle with a shot blocked off of Kaiser's blade, out of play with 13:05 to go in the second period. No goals in the middle frame thus far. Chicago still clinging on to a 2-1 lead on the road against their division rival Dallas Stars. Jaric Rubel back here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube channel. Dallas down 2-1 here on home ice to the Chicago Blackhawks after two early first period goals got the Hawks started, and that's noteworthy as the Dallas Stars have only allowed 42 first period goals going into tonight's game, which was the fewest in the NHL entering play, and now they're up to 44, as I can't confirm or deny if that's still number one in the NHL in terms of least first period goals against, but still a rare thing to happen for Dallas in the opening 20 minutes. Hawks trying to cling on to this lead here, as that's something they've struggled with throughout the course of the regular season. You could argue they'd be in the midst for the final wildcard spot in the West if they were good at doing such a thing, but unfortunately 8 or 9 blown leads and missed opportunities at extra points or even 2 full points are ending up costing them a spot at the playoffs, and instead have them next to last with the Vancouver Canucks in the Western Conference. Just goes to show you every single detail matters, every single point matters in the regular season, as this team's proven that it could have hung with the wild card group, but unfortunately for them, they were just not good enough in third periods and overtimes, and it has them on the wrong side of the regular season here in 25-26. They have to defend against the Stars' top line here that has Robertson weaving in, and his shot from the far circle got blocked, and he looked skyward after taking it. Puck back out to center where Nazar collects after a Lundqvist turnover. Over the Stars' line he goes, tried to center it in the slot, but it went between both Teravainen and Bertuzzi, and Bork's the other way over both red line and blue. Near point, here's Johnston. Tried to connect with Robertson, but instead went to the far corner as he fell over, and Bertuzzi with the puck for Chicago will skate it himself through the logo. Put it far wall for Teravainen. He's at the end of a shift. He backhands it in. Heiskanen behind his net to our left to play it. Goes up the far wall. Ritzkovian will tip it through center. It'll go into the Hawk zone. Rinzel will play it first. He takes a look behind his net. Near side finds Kaiser. Kaiser here pressed off the puck by the Stars, but it squirted to the Hawks, and now here's Mangiapane over the Stars line. East to west he goes. From the far wing, tried a shot that deflected behind the goal. To the near corner, Kaiser. Pension downloads the defenseman, got outworked Ritzkovian. Here he comes up the near wing. Ritzkovian to the near circle. Across it goes, and a shot block came back to Harley, or Lindell, I should say, as he played it back between the circles for Ritzkovian. A penalty coming up here, and it's going to go on Chicago as the whistle goes with 11:24 in the second period. And Wyatt Kaiser is going to take a seat for the Blackhawks as he ended up getting tangled up with Ritzkovian, who did a good job to separate himself even after Kaiser took the hold. And then he was able to put his Stars on the power play for the second time here tonight. So Kaiser takes a seat for Chicago. The Stars to the power play. It's Duchesne out there with Ben, Robertson, Johnston, and Heiskanen, as it'll be a face-off to the right of Arvid Soderblom. It's Riley Green out there for the face-off for Chicago with Mikheyev and Crevier and Vlasic, the defenseman. The Stars win it too clean, and it goes back into their own defensive zone, and their power play begins with the chase back. So Heiskanen leaves it at his own blue line for Duchesne. Duchesne will leave it at the logo now for Johnston. He'll go over the Hawks blue, left at far left wing for Robertson. Into the circle he goes, button hooking on his backhand, put it to the point for Heiskanen. Back to Robertson it goes, down low Johnston, looking to center it, it's stopped by Soderblom as Johnston got in tight on top of the blue paint. Maybe he elevated it over the net with the puck on edge, but it looked like Arvid able to get it with the shoulder for Chicago. As we look at the replay here, and yeah, Soderblom able to fight that one off, turtling in his net, able to get it with the left shoulder, the right shoulder, I should say, as Johnston tried to shoot left while Soderblom was moving to his right, and it just didn't work out for the Stars centerman. He controls off a face-off win, but an outstripped by Nazar, but it won't result in a breakaway, as Heiskanen's able to get back with ease and take the biscuit. 80 seconds remain on the Stars power play. Heiskanen through all three lines at center. Near wing in the Hawk zone. Down to our right for the captain, Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn trying to retrieve a puck along the wall. Trade spots with Heiskanen. Now to the far wall it goes for Robertson. He lost it, but Johnson's there to save him. Down low it goes Benn. Far corner. Up high in the slot. Heiskanen fakes the drive. Shoots, and it's fought off by Soderblom. Rebound to the far wall. Robertson centered for Benn. Back up high it goes for Heiskanen. This way it goes to the circle, now Duchesne. Flung it back across Robertson, far point. To the far circle, it's Johnston now as he trades spots with Robertson. Now Wyatt Johnston between the circles up near the blue line. To the near circle, he plays it Heiskanen, and he'll give it right back. Johnston again in the final 40 of the power play. Gives it to Heiskanen, rotates far circle. Here's Robertson in the slot. Johnston a tip and a save. Soderblom. Rebound cleared up and out by Vlasic. And the Stars will get back. The Hawks will try and change a couple. Nazar gets off. That's all that they'll get. As back in, now the free puck will come to the Hawks. Slaggert, the free new PK are in. And he touches it back. They'll kill some time and dump it down the ice. So the Stars reset, and Ritzkovian will regather through center. Up the near wing he goes, and a pass back to the point goes out the center as Harley wasn't there. And now as 5 seconds remain on the power play, it's sent back into Chicago ice. Time expires, and we're back to 5-on-5. On the near wing, though, here's Maverick Bourque down low for Duchesne. Or I should say Bunting, I beg your pardon. Bunting, a shot from the near circle, swallowed up by Soderblom as he's able to squeeze that one and hold with under 10 minutes remaining here in period number 2. Still a 2-1 Chicago lead on the road here in the Lone Star State. We'll see what the rest of this second period will bring. Welcome back into the broadcast on YouTube. Jaric Rubel, glad you're with me on the Ultimate Sports Media channel, as it's still 2-1 Chicago, as we're past the halfway point here in this hockey game in Dallas. Goals by Bertuzzi and Rinzel for Chicago, and Nathan Bastian with the marker for Dallas. So Dallas in the midst here of a tougher schedule of opponents. They'll take on the Vegas Golden Knights here at home on Tuesday, as Vegas trying to gather their bearings as they've had a tough run over the last couple of months. They've struggled to beat playoff teams. They finally beat the Red Wings. That was the first playoff team they beat since November the 20th. That win came last Wednesday. And we'll see how the Stars could handle Vegas, who know that they have to try and clean up their game before the playoffs get here, if they even make the playoffs, as crazy as that is to say. The Stars from behind their own net with now under 9 minutes remaining in the second period start a breakout with this fourth line that's been very good. And into the Chicago zone they go. From the near point, Lundqvist's shot got blocked off the end boards. Now it'll come free to Burakovsky. Through center he goes on the far wing over the Stars line. Tried to go this way for Bedard. Pass was behind him. Kaiser tried to give it to him. Now he's tied up with Blackwell on the near wing. 3 bodies there for the Stars to the 2 for the Blackhawks. Win that battle on the near side. And the puck squirts free for Harley, who gets out to center. He'll chip it in from the logo and head the change. Behind the Blackhawks net it'll go, and Kaiser will nudge it this way for Burakovsky, who's up with Bedard. Burakovsky being hassled by Ernie, got the puck to Bedard, who's over the Stars line far side, but stripped immediately by Ritzkovian, who now turned it over to Burakovsky. Tried to center in the slot for Mangiapane, couldn't connect, as it's taken out the center by Ritzkovian. Back in possession, though, come the Hawks. Riley Green, far wing. Button hooking on that far wing. Left it in the corner. Cycling up high now is Grzelcyk. Grzelcyk to the far wall. Trying to send it rink wide was Levshunov. It was intercepted by the Stars. And back to center they go. Far wall, Ernie will snap it in. Goes to the near corner. Grzelcyk takes a look for Chicago, and he'll move it back to neutral ice. Tipped into the Star zone. It goes shy of center, though, says the linesman. And that will result in an icing with 7:44 to go in period number 2. Didn't mention the officiating staff here tonight, as the linesman there blowing the play dead was Ben O'Quinn, paired tonight with Kyle Flemington, and the referees, TJ Luxmore, paired with Stephen Hiff, a newer official in the National Hockey League, still getting early sets of games under his belt, as those are the officials for tonight's game. Face off to the left of Soderblom, won by Duchesne, but now lost it as Grzelcyk did a good job to take it away. And the Hawks will play it to center. Lardis will play it on into Dallas ice, and a whistle to blow play dead, as I think it might have went off a Blackhawk glove as the puck went near the benches. So it's 7:28 to go. Another whistle here and a stoppage in play. Reminder, coming up this Tuesday, I'll be with you from Buffalo as the Sabres will play host to the San Jose Sharks in a battle of who would have thought this would be fun 6 months ago, as the Sabres rolling in the Eastern Conference, the Sharks battling for a playoff spot in the Pacific. I'm excited for this game on Tuesday. I hope you join me, Sharks and Sabres, on this YouTube channel. Linesman took a spill off the face-off win by Dallas, as now the Stars are heading left to right into the Hawk zone. Here's Duchesne driving on the near wing boards, cutting behind the net on his backhand, muscled out of there by Crevier, but the puck comes back in behind Steele, near circle, shot by Heiskanen, blocked down in between the circles and grabbed by Mikheyev. Mikheyev up the far wing, has Donato with him. Over the Stars line he goes, pulls up at the far circle, up high, a one-timer by Crevier's on net, deflected to the near wall. Here's Vlasic down low, behind the goal for Donato. Put it back up high for Crevier. Now Donato at the far circle, riding the far wing boards. From the circle, a shot blocker down there by DeSmith. Not sure if we even saw that. On the near wing, Vlasic played it up and nobody covering as Slaggert has to reset at center. And it's reset now by Chicago. And now on the far wing, it'll be gathered Mikheyev. Over the Stars line, his pass for Donato went off a skate, but to the far wall, Rinzel's there to save the day. Hawks changing on the fly. Rinzel knocked off the play by Steele, as now the Stars take back over with that free puck. Heiskanen from the far wall, flipped it ahead. Over the line it goes for Chicago to take back over. But the pass intended for Nazar couldn't connect, and Rinzel will try again. This way over the Stars line, Nazar has it. Now left it for Teravainen. His shot got blocked in front off his own man Bertuzzi. Slung it in front, but Johnston takes it, and a 3-on-2 develops for the Stars. Over the low goes Wyatt. Tried to play it to himself against Rinzel, but couldn't. And now taken to the far boards is Robertson without the puck, and the Hawks take back over. Out to center's Kaiser. Snapped it over the red line. Around the goal, it goes to the far corner in the Dallas zone to our left. Now Harley will play it this way for Lundqvist, and Lundqvist got it up the center. Here's Johnston, 2-on-1 as he screams in across. He goes, Bork going to right pad, saved by Soderblom. He's seeing the puck so well for the Blackhawks in the blue paint. As now Bedard up the far wing, couldn't connect with Burakovsky with the pass, but Burakovsky got to that puck and got it to Bedard, who touched it to the back. Levshunov this way for Grzelcyk, a shot at it, seen with the glove by DeSmith, as he'll catch it and hold for a whistle. And one last time out this period with 5:23 to go in the middle frame. Arvid Soderblom with a great right pad stop on Maverick Bourque a minute ago, keeping it a 2-1 Chicago lead. Back here in Dallas, where it was so close to becoming a 2-2 tie thanks to Maverick Bourque, but his one-timer cross-ice feed was shut down with the right pad by Arvid Soderblom before the break, as he's been great in the paint for Chicago so far in this game. So face-off coming up here to the right of the opposite goaltender, this being Casey DeSmith, with an ozone draw looming for Chicago, Riley Green against Wyatt Johnston. So off the draw, Ryan Green gets tied up and Burakovsky tries to control, but Lundqvist takes him to the boards. And now the puck's free in behind and the Stars will take control. Harley, far wall for Robertson, sending it out through center. A foot race now between Bourque and Kaisers, won by Bourque, as now they both go into the near corner of the Hawks defensive zone. Burakovsky collides with his own man Kaiser, but now Bedard's with speed up the near wing with a free puck. Crosses over the logo, now far wall, it's Green. Green trying to play it back to Rinzel in the slot, got cut off, and now the pass off escape will come to Harley, and he's out the other way for Dallas. He'll chip it into the far corner now. Vlasic trying to get there for Chicago, got his stick lifted, near corner Bourque. Tried to leave it in the corner, taken away again by Chicago. Vlasic sends it to center, and with 4:35 to go in the second period, the Stars once again reset in their own zone. Harley with a pass on the near wing for Robertson, knocked back out of the zone, and now Donato wanted to play it, but it looks like it was blown dead for an offsides when it was touched by the Stars. So an offsides whistle with 4:28 to go in period number 2. Now, speaking of 2, I mentioned Tuesday night hockey next week. The week after that, it'll be the Bruins and Canadiens in the Bell Center, an important Atlantic Division rivalry game, and a Original Six rivalry at that in each of these two clubs' 100th season. So on March 17th, the Bruins and Canadiens, I'll be with you for that. Face-off in neutral ice, controlled by the Stars, as it's one back into their own zone, and Myers will have to reset. As big 6'8" Tyler Myers lugs it across to 6'7" Bischel, but it was out of his reach. And now in neutral ice, Stars and Blackhawks getting tied up with one another. But now the puck came free to Myers again. Resets to Bischel, another bad pass, and this time he just had to whack at the center. And this has space for Beck to enter on the far left wing. Played it this way, out of the reach of Myers, bunted it back in behind the trapezoid. Levshunov on it for Chicago, overskated it, Bastian centered it, Blackwell shot it, and Soderblom saved it, and a second save by Soderblom on Blackwell. Arvid Soderblom's playing the best dang hockey game I've ever seen out of this guy, and as you can see, I watch plenty of Blackhawks hockey. to his right. Blackwell still coming up with the puck. The fourth line's been sensational for the Stars, but a shot by Harley got blocked to the near wing, and the Hawks, who have only 6 shots on goal, are still hanging on to a 2-1 lead here to the Stars' 20 shots. Here's Donato with the puck for Chicago. At the end of a shift, he'll just snap it into the Stars' zone, and behind the Dallas net, it'll be grabbed by Heiskanen. Forecheck here by Chicago, almost forced a turnover, but instead on a far wing, it becomes a 2-on-1 for the Stars. But a bad back check here by Dallas here ended up with Duchesne falling into his opposing net. And now the Hawks back through center. Here's Slaggert trying to drive. Put it on net, and now DeSmith with a right pad save. Popped it out to the right side. Now he with a good save prevents Dallas from falling back in a 2-goal deficit. Is now in neutral ice. Duchesne knocked off the puck. Teravainen with it for Chicago. Backhands it from neutral to the far corner of the Dallas zone. Lundqvist will play it around to the near wing. Lindell will play it past the penalty boxes. Tip no icing, says the linesman. And Rinzello grab it for Chicago with 2:30 remaining in the second period. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media page. Bedard tried to enter back into the Stars zone. Did, but now his pass back to Kaiser almost came out of the zone, and a flip shot will be gloved by DeSmith weakly as he'll hold for a whistle with 2:20 to go in this second period. Just the 8th shot on goal here for the Chicago Blackhawks in this game. So let's look at the couple of saves here by Soderblom, as the first one was point blank in the slot against Blackwell with the left pad, and then Blackwell got his own rebound, and moving to his right, Soderblom able to get it with the blocker and keep it a Blackhawk lead, 2-1 still to score. Stars win a D-zone draw. Now it's snapped back into Chicago ice by Adam Ernie. On the far wall, it's played down low for Bunting. From behind in the trapezoid, Bunting up the near wall, came up top, Lundqvist a shot. That one just hit Soderblom with traffic in front. Came to the near wall where Lardis will get it to center. Bertuzzi for Bedard. Bedard crisscrossing into the far circle of the Stars zone. Tried to put it deep, but he didn't get a lot on that. Dump him, and Ritzkovian will take back over. Goes this way for Niels Lundqvist, and back out to center ice past the penalty boxes glides Ritzkovian. Couldn't get the puck deep. Lundqvist will, and it rides around the Hawk goal and in the far corner, grabbed by Crevier. Goes up straight away for Donato now. Donato over the blue line with a shot, goes off the end boards. Ricochet in front of the net. Mikheyev tried to glove it, but was tied up with a Star. Is on the near side in Dallas ice to our left. Blackwell flips it out the center for the Stars, and now they'll reset as they'll try and get some fresh bodies on the ice here in the final 75 of the second period. Tyler Myers tried to go rink wide, read by Green, and now a pass up ahead. Donato's got a breakaway as the Stars got miscommunication, and a shot shut down by DeSmith with the stick as Donato tried to go 5-hole, and Casey DeSmith able to shut the wickets, and the puck goes out of play. So bad job there by the Stars in neutral ice as they dealt with some miscommunication heading to the bench on that bad pass. And then Myers got tied up with Lundqvist at their own blue line, which allowed Donato to have that free lane in. And his shot there is sticked aside by DeSmith, who covered the wickets. So Pittsburgh here, looks like that game's gone final. They came back down 3-0 and then went down 4-3 as well to tie it at 3 and then tie it at 4 against the Boston Bruins and come through with a big 2 points on home ice in that game. As down to the final minute here in Dallas we go in the second period. The Hawks with this 1-goal lead trying to add back and make it 2. In the near corner, Burakovsky around Bedard, tough angle shot, might have grazed the crossbar from a miserable angle and came back up the near side. Bork will clear, and Grzelcyk takes back over with Levshunov. Levshunov up ahead for Bedard. Quick edge work as he put the brakes on, stepped on a Dallas Stars stick and got tangled up. Meanwhile, on the near wings, Green put it up the near boards for Levshunov at the left point, fed it across, and Grzelcyk will get there. Grzelcyk played it right back in behind in the final 25. Lindell cut off Bedard, nicely shot it right out of play, but deflected, says both the referee and the linesman in agreement. So no delay of game on Esa Lindell. So the Stars able to get a change here. Ozone draw still intact for the Hawks. As we take a look at The St. Patrick's Day Hawks jerseys mixed in here in Dallas with all the victory green. As I mentioned on St. Patrick's Day, Bruins and Canadians right here on this channel. Thought about wearing the St. Pat's jersey for that game, but I won't wear Toronto for a Montreal broadcast. Doesn't feel right, even on St. Patty's Day. Off a faceoff win, here's a shot. Bertuzzi missed to the glove side as the faceoff was one to the left of DeSmith. Now a battle to his right in the near corner. It'll be fish hooked out on his backhand by Duchesne. And at the logo, Teravainen backhanded it into the star zone. That'll kill off the rest of the time here in period 2. As this period comes to a close with no goals for either side, it remains a 2-1 Chicago lead through 40 minutes of play. Shots on goal in that second period, just 3 for Chicago, 7 for the Dallas Stars. Overall in the game, 20-9. The Stars lead the shot on goal count when leading through 2 periods this year. The Blackhawks 15-2-2. Meanwhile, the Dallas Stars 5-12-4 when trailing after 40 minutes of play. Don't go anywhere. That third and final period is imminent. The sun's still up here in the Midwest. It's still shining in Dallas as well as the sun sets further in the south, as it'll take a little bit more time down in Big D, as it's a good change here into spring, as the push for the playoffs is on here on the Ultimate Sports Media YouTube page, and the Stars trying to get at least a point in this game against Chicago and get closer to the Colorado Avalanche for the top spot in the Central. welcome back to the start of the third period in Dallas between the Blackhawks and Stars. Chicago leading it 2-1 through 40 minutes of play. All the goals scored in the first period, 2 by Chicago, Bertuzzi and Rinzel, and then Nathan Bastian for the Dallas Stars got that goal back, as it's still 2-1 as we begin period number 3. Again, my name is Jaric Rubel, as I'm happy you're with me for this Blackhawks and Stars broadcast. As again, we're remembering the late Troy Murray, radio broadcaster and a longtime player, 12 seasons with the Chicago Blackhawks. As we see on the broadcast that the Dallas Stars left them a note, the Blackhawks organization, for Troy Murray in the broadcast booth. And this is coming from an organization that lost another great to cancer. Dave Strader worked with the Dallas Stars in his long, illustrious career calling hockey games. Unfortunately, that terrible disease caught him too. And a kind gesture by the Stars to reach out to the Hawks and Troy Murray and his family. So we're set for third period action here in Dallas between these two teams. Dallas trying to claw closer to Colorado, as Colorado earlier today did win in a shootout against the Minnesota Wild, bumping them up to 95 points now, which is a 9-point lead at this very moment over the Dallas Stars for first place in the Central Division. So we're set for period number 3 as the puck is dropped. The Stars control, and it will be attacking right to left are the Dallas Stars in this third period, and Chicago is going left to right. And the Hawks with the puck now behind their own net to our left on the near side. And it's Burakovsky snapping one off the far wing boards for Alex Vlasic. Vlasic trying to get over the Stars line, got tied up. Puck now taken to Nils Lundqvist. And Lundqvist will take it for Dallas and move it up the near wing. Gets it back now at center. Tried a shot over the Hawk line, went off a skate, got it back behind the goal line. Now it's back on the back of the net, and Vlasic turned it over in tight. A backhand. Borg hit the post. The fans celebrated. Now they rule a goal as the referee waved it, then pointed at the net. As the Stars here, Maverick Borg has tied the game at 2 early in the third. So on the replay, Maverick Bork, the initial shot went off the near post on a far side shot. It was from the far side goal line, went off the post to the right of Soderblom, and Nazar went in to go and get that puck, and it ended up going off of him. Or no, he got tripped up with Crevier, as I get a better look at the replay as Crevier took the skates out from underneath Nazar, and when that puck went off the post, it ended up hitting Nazar in the cranium and finding the back of the net for Maverick Bork, getting his 13th of the year, as now Bedard, or I should say Nazar and the Hawks step back in, as Rinzel with a one-timer missing the net. But Maverick Bork here now with a 4-game point streak. He's got 5 points in that span, 2 goals and 3 assists. So Mav Bork playing good hockey here for the Dallas Stars. Colin, you see him in the chat, Classics. He's a big Dallas Stars fan. Watch the games with him and we talk about him. And Maverick Bork been on fire over the course of the last handful of games for Dallas. So they're all even now at 2 against these Blackhawks, as now the other good line for this team, the Ben, Steele, and Duchesne line go to work. They've been excellent the last handful of games, as they're going to try and connect again. A tip by Steele, save Soderblom on the shot by Bischel. Now at the left point, here is Bischel. Along the wall, Duchesne. Back up high, Ben. Touched it to Tyler Myers. He's going to play it behind the goal. It'll be grabbed by Duchesne. Skating out of the far corner, pivots to his backhand and stays there. Now towards the trapezoid he goes. Down to one knee, stays with it. Got it to Steele. Banked up to the far point. Now Myers this way. Bischel a shot. Tipped through the slot. Came back to the far wall. Here's Steele once again. Or Duchesne, leaving it in the corner. A bad pass for Ben, didn't connect, and it'll be taken back by Levshunov, and the Hawks were able to weather that storm. So the Hawks changing as well, as Levshunov waits behind his own net with 2:15 gone by here in period number 3. Now Maverick Bork with the equalizer for the Stars, as they were down 2-0 at one point in this game as the Hawks. Nazar makes a bad pass, and here comes Dallas again with Kaiser turned back on the far wing, and now a hand pass is whistled here as the official TJ Luxmore makes the signal. So at 2.5 played, another whistle, and a neutral zone face-off upcoming between these two teams. So Colin chiming in the chat. There he is. Mav stays hot as Maverick Bork, funny enough, in the city of the Dallas Mavericks, makes it a 2-2 tie. And speaking of the Mavericks, I guess these two franchises kind of went toe-to-toe in a board meeting recently, and they were going at it. And the Stars organization, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't have a true quote to give, but I did read on Twitter, so believe what you want from the internet, that the Stars were chirping the Mavericks, calling them the Las Vegas Mavericks. So that's interesting if these two teams really got beef like that down here in the Lone Star State. But that is what's been kind of happening between the two teams that play in this building. Now here's Nazar for the Hawks, sidesteps Harley and gets into the zone near wing with a shot, and that's swallowed up by DeSmith. And now a little bit of a crowd afterwards between Slaggert and Harley pushing around Nazar, as Casey DeSmith had to kind of close up his left arm, his glove hand, as that shot by Nazar almost squeaked through. But it remains a 2-2 tie. And Harley just went for the poke check, and Nazar was able to avoid that, and that's what sent him in on the near side. But a good job by Robertson as well on the back check, kind of forcing Nazar to that near wing and not really giving him a lane other than just a tough shot. So 3:01 played in this third period now. Face-off coming up to the left of Casey DeSmith, as it should be the Connor Bedard line on the ice here for the Blackhawks, but I'm looking at Nazar and Slaggert sitting separated on the Blackhawk bench. Here we go, and it is Bedard on the ice against Ritskovian, and the Stars win that draw back with some help from Lindell. Puck flipped out to center, bounced around by Ernie and Grizzlick at the Hawk blue line. It rolls behind the goal line now to our left, and in behind that Blackhawk cage, it'll be grabbed by Levshinov. Levshinov lost it. Ernie twisted it back to the far point. Not kept, though, by Heiskanen, and he'll reset with Lindell as the Finnish D pairing goes back up the left wing for Ritskovian to tip in. Into the Hawk zone once again. Behind the goal. Played by Grizzlick, far wall Bedard. Goes this way for Burakovsky. Andre Burakovsky up the right wing boards, over the Stars line. Dropped it for Bedard, fell to one knee, back to his skates he goes, protecting on his backhand. To the far point, Levshinov. Levshinov, this way it comes. Here's Ryan Green. Across it goes Bedard, one-timer, blocked off the side of the net. Now in that far corner, here's Ritskovian up the far wing for Miro Heiskanen, and he gets by Green. He's into the Hog zone. Here's Heiskanen, played it towards the middle, and now it got taken away and played up ahead for Nazar. It'll be one, though, in a foot race for icing. Oh, they blew it dead. This should be a face-off at center, as Nazar was well ahead in that foot race with Wyatt Johnston on the icing call, and I would be shocked if this is an ozone draw for Dallas. So another look at that shot by Connor Bedard. Didn't even make it to the net, I don't think, as it didn't even get blocked as it went off the side of the net, and it wasn't going to be on target to begin with. And now the faceoff is not going to be at center. This is a bad call by the linesman, but puck don't lie as the Hawks win the draw and flip it right back to center and get a change. But the Stars trying to catch him in it. Harley on the left wing, down low, centered it through the slot, and now it's kept in at the far point. Lundqvist, this way Bork. Back to Niels Lundqvist it goes. Up high, Harley rides the line. Farwell Lundqvist, a flip shot, blocked down, came in the slot. Bork a whack, and it goes off the end boards around the far wing. Out of the corner, Johnston tried the center. Pinballed around, Bertuzzi collects, and he will get the red line and leave it on the near wing. Crevier trying to get after there, won't, but a bad play by Johnston sends the Hawks back in. Bertuzzi for Teravainen's shot getting blocked from the far circle to the near side. Bertuzzi backhands it between the circles down to our right in the Star zone, but it's picked up by Dallas and moved ahead for Robertson to shovel into the Hawk end. To the near side it goes. Johnston whacks at one, taken away by Donato, and up past the penalty box as he rides. On that right wing, he snapped it in, around the goal it goes, and down on the far wing in the Dallas zone is Teravainen, can't grab it, and it comes back out the center. The Hawks reset onside. Renzel played it to the near corner, trying to stab at it was Donato, but Myers able to take it away, put it up the far wall. Teravainen took a shot, pinballed in front. Now Bertuzzi gloves it to himself. He's tied up, stays with it, got it to the back. Now Renzel can't keep it in, as I don't know if that puck went off the linesman or not, as it looked like Renzel should have been able to keep that. But from this camera angle here in Dallas, which is pretty low, it was hard to see where that puck went off of. Back in come the Hawks. On the far wing, Mangiapane tied up by Heiskanen. No call with the stick in the midsection as the refs are surely letting them play. Hawks, though, back in on a bad turnover, but another bad pass as well. And instead, they'll have to reset at center. Mangiapane on the near side blue line, snapped it around the Dallas goal. Far wing it goes, and now the Stars just get it right back out as between the benches. Sam Steele's tied up here with Mangiapane, and he loses possession. The Hawks take it back. Levshunov past the penalty boxes will snap it in, and around the goal it goes once again. The Hawks with this dump and chase from the near wing to the far wing has to work at some point, surely, right? Probably not. They've tried it all year, but they're going to keep at it. And now a turnover to Heiskanen. Across it goes to Blackwell, and the Stars on the counterattack. Nice pass by Blackwell to himself. He's into the far circle, and Kaiser shook him off and went hard and real hard into the far boards. He's okay, though, as he gets back up in a jiffy and now gets back in position on the near side. Here's Bastian dropping it for Blackwell. Across to the far point it goes. Lundqvist slashed it around the goal, and it came back to Harley at the near half boards. Now he'll back skate to the point. Cross Lundqvist to the near circle, and now Blackwell between the circles. Long shot deflected in front. It's loose, and now Rinzel's tied up, and it came free to Grzelcyk, who pokes it up, and it goes out the center, and Harley will have to chase back. So on it is Harley here after that big push by the Stars. Is that fourth line again of Blackwell, Beck, and Bastian. Best line hands down here tonight for Glenn Gullitz and Stars. Back in they come with the third line now. Ritzkovian, Bunting, and Ernie. Trying to keep it in, they will. Bunting from the far wall to the corner for Ernie. Ernie in front. Ritzkovian couldn't get the tip. Up the near wall it came to Harley. Slid it across off the stick of Bischel. And out the center it'll go. Teravainen collects. Teravainen with Bertuzzi with him. Gave it to him on the far wing. Pass comes this way. Deflected to Nazar. Lumberjacks it behind the Dallas cage, as now in the trapezoid, nobody could find the puck. Teravainen's on it first, on his backhand, protecting to the far wall. Teuvo Teravainen spun it back for Nazar. Nazar shielding on the far wall against Harley. Protects now. Up high Vlasic, one-timer, blocked right back to him. To the circle it came to Crevier on the near side. Crevier took down Ernie. Will it be a penalty? You think it will? Nobody's really skating. The whistle is now gone, as it was kind of a clunky ending to a play. And Big Lou with an offensive zone penalty here for Chicago. Not what you want when you were up here in period number 3. So this game here against Dallas, again, I brought you a couple Chicago games on the network. I'm wearing the Chicago jersey. Not going to go to commercial yet. I'm just going to talk with you here. There's a game against Toronto, because I mentioned the blown leads earlier this game, and it was on USN. It was on the channel that doesn't exist anymore, right? So there's no way to go back and listen to it if you wanted to. But in that game, the Hawks led 2-0 with 10 minutes left in the third period. Yeah, Dallas scored in the first period in this game, so it's not the exact same situation, but they ended up giving a power play to Toronto. They score on the tail end of it, and then 15 seconds after they tie the game, here comes Dakota Joshua, and he gives them the lead 15 seconds after. And it's stuff like that in these third periods that has cost the Hawks certain points as to why they are not in this playoff race. And Louis Crevier, unfortunately taking an offensive zone penalty there, being reckless with his stick, could be a reason. I mean, they were going to miss anyway, but you kind of get the point. It's just kind of an ongoing situation here in Chicago that they got to clean up. As, you know, I could go, I'm not going to commercial. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you. So we'll go over the games real quick in which they really blew it. And then, of course, you look in the end of January here, they had a game against Minnesota on the road. They led 3-0, and then Minnesota with 3 third-period goals ends up tying it and winning in overtime. Or late in the second period, they got the first one, but still a 3-0 lead blown. They do the stuff against Toronto I explained to you guys. They had early season games against Montreal and Vancouver where they choked away a couple of points. Just tough sledding here for Chicago as they just struggle to close out games. There was the game against New Jersey as well that I'm looking at, in which Simone Nemec got the hat trick for New Jersey. And the Hawks ultimately withered what would have been a second point in that game as well, as they just got to figure out what they got to do late in games, as they kind of play to not lose. As Colin, to your point with the Stars, I mean, yeah, they're a good team, but you've told me plenty of times in these third periods when they have the lead, it doesn't bode well for them. They kind of just play defense and they don't keep the gas on. And we'll see what happens here as this power play has now begun for Dallas. As down low Johnston center, Duchesne saves Soderblom, #1 star of this game if Chicago wins it. As the Stars power play can't pass it around as the pass goes off Robertson's skate and sent back down by Green. So fully back in this hockey game now, no commercial break there as there's under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Stars with 93 seconds left on this power play. That sees Wyatt Johnston with his team leading 33 power play points fail to enter the Hawk zone, and Jamie Benn from the far wing played it back for Heiskanen, who will leave it at the logo for Duchesne, and now his bad pass for Heiskanen will force Johnston to grab it, and up the near wing he goes. Kaiser cut him off, he'll clear, and the Stars, who have scored a power play goal in 8 straight games, have struggled all day against this number 1 PK in the NHL that belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks. Stars 0 for 2 on this power play, or on their power plays today so far. A minute gone by on their third as Johnston's in on the near wing over the line. Duchesne twisted it to Robertson, played it on the left wing. Duchesne wasn't activating, but the puck was grabbed back by Robertson, centered it Benn. His shot saves Soderblom, and that goes out of play. And that will create a stoppage with 47 seconds remaining on this Dallas power play. So Duchesne with a good quality try at the start of this power play, and then Benn just a second ago. And Arvid Soderblom here for Chicago. His last few games, he's been good in the blue paint for the Indian Head. So Lou Crevier watches on here from the sin bin, as now the Stars go at their second power play unit, as it'll be Bork out there with Ritskovian. And at the moment, looks like Lindell and Harley, and Bunting is the third forward now that he's not hunched over. And now the Stars control off that faceoff win. And on the far wing, it is Bunting. PK unit of Kaiser, Green, Mikheyev, and now a loose puck coming down for the Hawks, short-handed. Mikheyev, as I'll give you the third defense or fourth skater in a minute. But the pass by Mikheyev towards the net just went awry. And now the Hawks will change him up, and that extra defenseman doesn't even matter anymore, as now there's only 20 seconds left on this Stars power play, and Ritskovian's gliding back in on the near wing, left it for Lindell. Up high Harley, back on the left wing, near wing for Lindell. At the circle, Bork, down low Ritskovian, tried to stuff it home, it's lost, and now a shot, score! Bork again! Second of the period, power play goal, and the Stars lead it, 3-2. So a good job here by Maverick Bork. Good job to activate. He was at the near circle before that puck got to Ritskovian. And Ritskovian driving to the net. Bork just shadows him as they're driving to the blue paint. And sure enough, that rebound chance was there to Soderblom's glove side. And Maverick Bork's second goal of the game and 14th of the year gives the Dallas Stars a 3-2 lead with 10:20 to go in regulation time. So it does continue their power play streak. It is now 9 consecutive games with a power play goal for the Dallas Stars. And if they're able to get one more power play marker in the next game they play, it'll match the longest such streak since 2006. So the Hawks down a goal now after leading 2-0 early in this hockey game. They're going to have to try and get the equalizer now, as in this spot it isn't great for him in the third period, as now a turnover by Rinzel sends Bastian in, and his shot gloved and robbed by Soderblom, as he's done the best he can, stopping 24 of 27 for the Blackhawks in the blue paint. But the team now trails 3-2 courtesy a power play goal by Maverick Bork. He has both in the period, and with 9:43 to go in the third, Dallas leads it 3-2. Back here in Dallas, where the Stars have grabbed their first lead of the game on a power play goal by Maverick Bourque, his second of the game, and they lead it 3-2. Jaric Rubel with you here on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page. It's been a fun one so far between the Hawks and the Stars, so I wanted to bring you guys this game specifically because I know there's some loyal listeners, fans of each team, that hang out in this chat on a regular basis, so why not reward the regular listeners with the teams that they enjoy. So face off to the left of Soderblom, going to be won by the Stars. Ritzkovian had the primary assist on that power play goal, dropped it for Myers, and his shot blocked by Mangiapane back to center, and now Myers will just snap it back in again while getting hit by Mangiapane, and the Hawks from behind their own net will now start a breakout. Here's Rinzel on the near wing at the red line. He'll snap it in, around the goal it goes again. Hawks love the right wing dump into the far wing chase. Don't know why they keep sticking to it. They have 11 shots on goal here tonight. On that near wing, here's Bischel. He's going to get it behind for Myers. He should get an easy exit, and up the far wing it goes. It's going to be deflected off the skate, though, of Harley, who's fresh on the ice, or bunting, I should say, and deflect now to Rinzel. And now both teams decide they want fresh skaters. And Rinzel waits, plays it ahead. Nazar can't grab it. Duchesne put it right back towards Rinzel. Rinzel able to play it away from him. Now it bounces around and came up the near wing. And Bertuzzi trying to pry it away from Lindell in front of the penalty box has got it ahead. And now Teravainen alertly nudged it to center as that could have been a Stars chance started. And now Bertuzzi's onside on the far wing into Dallas ice. Played it into the far corner down to our right, but Esa Lindell sends it right back up that far wing. And down it goes into Chicago ice. It'll be grabbed by Matt Grzelcyk, the ex-Boston Bruin and Pittsburgh Penguin. Played it on the near wing for Levshunov, the ex-Michigan State product, drafted second overall in 24. Played it in front for Nazar, and the Michigan Wolverine couldn't stash it home. Drafted 13th overall by the Hawks in 2022. Is now back out the center come both teams as Teravainen's able to win that battle at the red line and play it back into his own zone. And now Levshunov will put it up the near boards, and Bourque takes it away from Bertuzzi. And now the Stars take back over with under 8 minutes remaining in third period action. Jaric Rubel with you on Ultimate Sports Media's watch-along page on YouTube. Bad pass by the Stars sends Bertuzzi back to center. This way it goes for Burakovsky. Dropped to Bedard on the near side over the Stars line. Tried to play it to the point, but unable to get there's Crevier. And the Stars take back over. The Hawks got to try something different. This is just a sign of stubbornness to me at this point, as if something's not working, why are you going to keep trying it time and time again? As a Hawks fan, I mean, I don't have to have a super neutral, position here on this broadcast being on YouTube. This is just miserable to watch. I can't believe that they're okay with this. And I have one of the opinions that, John Cooper being a lawyer down there in Tampa, he was a lawyer before becoming a hockey coach. It wouldn't have surprised me that he politicked Jeff Blashill out of his team, as they 3 consecutive first-round exits. Now they're the workhorse of the Eastern Conference again, along with Carolina and Buffalo, but I don't know. I think there's a little suspicion to be had about where this Hawks direction's headed as a fan of this team, but we'll see where the future does take them, as I think Anton Frundell coming up as a centerman hopefully next year will bolster him at the center position, and he could be a big two-way number 1 centerman that could maybe move Bedard over to wing and let him open up the offense a little bit more instead of having to be responsible on each end of the ice, which isn't exactly his strong suit, So down to 6.5 in this third period. Dallas up 3-2 as the Hawks are trying to get the equalizer. They're set up in Dallas ice down to our right. Walking the right wing boards is the defenseman Wyatt Kaiser, pivoting in the near corner. Played it back up to the point, but it goes off a bunting stick and deflects on the near wing to center. And Mikheyev's going to have to get back for Chicago. He gets free of bunting. Both of those guys could really skate. On the near wall, Kaiser will put it on for the Hawks to tip on in courtesy Donato. In the trapezoid, Mikheyev trying to get there. Lost it as Lindell had a nice defensive stick to give it to Duchesne, who's now free in the far corner, and slid it back this way for Lindell. Out to center, he plays it. Between the benches goes Heiskanen. Over the Hawk line, far wing bunting. Try to drop pass, does get out of the zone. And now a foot race between Slaggert and Lindell for this puck. Lindell wins it and alertly gets it right back to neutral ice. Hawks on the reset though, get in. Nazar on the near wing, has a man breaking to the goal, but he tried to toe drag and Lindell just knocked him to the ice as Nazar got too cute instead of shooting for a rebound. On the near side, the Stars force a turnover, getting upended is Lardis. In comes Ben, a backhander goes off the side of the net on the far wing. The Stars captain banked it to the far point. Lundqvist can't keep it in, so we're down to 5:10 remaining in regulation time. Colin, you never see me get frustrated against the Hawks, and again, these 2 points don't mean much to me, but we just watch these teams every night, and this is quite the game I'm watching here. And I get it's Dallas. They're a real excellent team, but the Hawks have beaten them twice this year. They've beaten the Avalanche before. I mean, they've beaten good teams. They've beaten the Ducks twice. So it's just a little frustrating from my end knowing that the Sharks, the Ducks, I mean, now the Sabres even, like all these teams look like they might be the cream of the crop. The Sabres finally, after struggling for 10 years, look excellent, though they're not in a playoff spot right now. It's just a tough spot to be in, I think, for the Hawks in the Western Conference and the Central Division, in which every team, besides maybe the direction St. Louis is heading, looks like they have a better plan in place moving forward. Now, still nothing going for the Hawks as they fail to enter the Stars zone again. Mav Bork back in on the far wing to the Hawks ice, and he put a shot right off the pads of Soderblom. Rebound goes to the far wall. Bedard just got taken down. He wants a penalty. Don't know if he's going to get it. As he went palms up, he is going to get it. And the Stars touch up, the whistle goes. So with 4:03 to go, the Hawks will go on the power play with an opportunity to make me eat some crow and not be so mad at what I've seen from the Indian Head in this game here tonight. But Bedard drew the penalty, and it'll be Johnston taking a seat as his stick got caught up in Bedard's midsection. And that will send the Hawks to the power play. When we return, 3-2 Dallas leads it with 4 minutes remaining on this Sunday night edition of an NHL Watchalong. The Blackhawks down a goal with their first power play opportunity of the game as they look to tie this one in the late stages of the third period. Jaric Rubel with you here live on the Ultimate Sports Media Watch-Along page as Wyatt Johnston sits for the Stars. Face off to the left to DeSmith's won by the Hawks, and they control them again on this power play. On the far wall, it's Rinzel. Centering Teravainen for Nazar, now goes this way at the circle for Bedard. Right wing dot. Played it up high to Rinzel. Back to Bedard, up at the point now. Down it goes for Bertuzzi. Across in front, and now a shot that tried to be stuffed home by Teravainen. Went through the goal mouth. And now on the near side, Nazar tried to center in the slot. Now the puck whacked to the far wing, and he's going to end up on it. Frank Nazar chipping it ahead. Teravainen nudged it to Rinzel. Back it goes down low to the far corner as I don't think Rinzel was quite in position to receive that pass. In behind the Stars net, Heiskanen's going to clear. And down the length of the ice, it'll go from one goal line to another. So now 70 seconds remain on this Blackhawks power play. as they try and tie this game at 3 here on the road against Dallas, a team in which they've beaten in both meetings so far this season. And Bedard glides back in on the near right wing boards. In the slot, Rinzel tried to feed it back for Bedard, but the pass was in front of him. Lindell can't clear. Bedard intercepts that. Back to the right point. Rinzel with 50 to go in the power play for Teravainen in the slot. Got knocked away. Rinzel a keep. Puck back to the far corner. Great stick there by Rinzel. Here's Teravainen in the slot. A shot. Glove save made by DeSmith. Rebound off the tip of it to Bedard in the near corner. Backhanded up high to Rinzel. Back to Bedard on the right wing boards. Connor Bedard now studying his options. Goes across to the far wing Teravainen. Up high Rinzel. Long flip shot save to Smith. Rebound Bertuzzi. Fanned on a backhander. Now Bedard can't grab it in the slot, but Rinzel has it up near the blue line. 20 seconds to go power play. Bertuzzi now down low. Tried to center it for Bedard. Came to the near circle for Teravainen. Back down low. It's here. Bertuzzi for Bedard. Shot it off the glass. Now it came to the near wing. Here's Teravainen again for Rinzel. A long shot blocked in front by DeSmith. That just hit him. And now it came to Blackwell. He'll ring it down the ice and send it all the way for a clear. That'll do it for the Blackhawk power play. That gets a round of applause from the Stars faithful here in the AAC as they keep it in front 3-2. So here comes Ryan Green for the Hawks through all 3 lines at center. Snapped it on to Smith, who sticked it out of play to the far corner. And with 1:46 to go in period 3, we get a whistle. So we'll see if Arvid Soderblom goes to the bench for Chicago and get the extra attacker on the ice, as there's 103 seconds remaining in this game. Stars trying to extend their point streak, and they should, to 12 games in a row, something they haven't done since 2019. And now the Blackhawks look like they're going to use their timeout. So they do just that. To the bench they go to talk things over with their coaching staff as Michael Pekka and Anders Sorensen. Actually, it looks like Jeff Blashill's going to lead the charge here. You don't always see the head coach taking charge with the whiteboard here in front, but Jeff Blashill's going to do just that and draw these final few plays up here for Chicago. But upcoming hockey games here with me on the channel Tuesday. Sharks and Sabres, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. I'll have some time off, but I'll be back on Sunday, March 15th for the Ducks and the Canadiens. They just played a great one out on the pond in Anaheim. I can't wait for the meeting up in the Bell Center. And then we'll stay in Montreal for Tuesday night hockey on Tuesday, March 17th for Bruins and Canadiens. That'll be right here on Ultimate Sports Media Watchalongs. So Soderblom to the bench, timeout off the board. Face off to the right of DeSmith, imminent, with the Blackhawks down a goal trying to tie this game on the road after once leading 2-0. So it will be Donato and Johnston for this draw. Out there with Donato for the Hawks is Bertuzzi, Teravainen, Nazar, Bedard, and Rinzel. Johnston wins the draw to the far corner. Myers is tied up with Teravainen. The puck came through to Bertuzzi. Slung it on the near wing for Bedard. He's being roughhoused by Duchesne. Caught a stick up high. The puck comes back out to center. Doesn't look like a penalty's been called. Bedard back up on the near wing. Snaps it in from the red line. Around the goal it goes. Meeting it is Nazar. Nazar being roughhoused in behind. Puck free to the near side. Teravainen. Up high Bedard. Looking, shooting, scores! Connor Bedard ties the game as he let a long wrist shot go from near the blue line. And we're all even at 3 goals apiece. So Connor Bedard in his 200th career NHL game gets goal 26 on the campaign as he was able to study his options from out between the circles, and he saw a lane with Donato and Bertuzzi setting a screen in front of Casey DeSmith, and he was able to shoot that one off the far post past the blocker side of the Dallas netminder, and the Hawks have tied this game at 3 here on the road in Dallas. So we're all even on 3 goals on 15 shots for Chicago, 3 on 30 for the Stars, as there's now 71 seconds remaining in a regulation time. The Stars in the Hawks' O zone can't keep it in, as now Lindell will reset with Heiskanen, and it's sent right back in to Chicago ice. Final minute now of regulation here at the American Airlines Center. 3-3. between the Hawks and the Stars. As now Dallas gets a line change. They snap it back in behind the Chicago goal. Ernie with a takeaway here on Crevier. Big time takeaway. Plays it back in behind. Johnston and the top line get on. Down in the far corners, Heiskanen tried a tough angle shot. Off the side of the net it goes. Grabbed by Vlasic. Moved it up for Burakovsky. And now Burakovsky for Bertuzzi as he directs it into Dallas ice. Under a half minute now in the third period. Lindell sends it back between the benches. Kaiser directs it back to Dallas ice, but it came right back between the benches for Johnston to snap in. Into the far corner of the Chicago zone to our left it goes. Riding the trapezoid with it is the defenseman for Chicago, Wyatt Kaiser. Up the near wing, he gets a pass back from Connor Bedard as he'll skate behind his own net, and this will send us to overtime here in Dallas. So what a game this one's been between the Stars and the Hawks. 2 unanswered to start for Chicago by Bertuzzi and Rinzel. Then 3 unanswered by the Stars, Bastian, and then 2 by Bork. One of them coming on the power play. And then Connor Bedard, lo and behold, gets the equalizer for Chicago. And we're all tied at 3 here at the end of regulation. Stick around, 60 seconds from now, we'll begin 3-on-3 overtime, as we've seen a lot of that across the NHL today. Welcome back into the start of overtime here between the Stars and the Blackhawks, as it has been a fun one here between these two teams, tied at 3 at the end of regulation, now beginning overtime. And this season, the Hawks 5-10 in overtime. Meanwhile, the Stars have a record of 7-10. Both of these teams sub 500 in this spot. So we get set to begin with Bedard, Green, and Rinzel for the Hawks. Duchesne, Heiskanen win it for the Stars. I'll let you know the third skater in a second. It's Robertson, as overtime has begun here at the American Airlines Center. Stars attacking left to right in this overtime, Hawks right to left, and Dallas is up the right wing boards on the near side. Here's Duchesne over the Hawk line, fed it in front, Heiskanen, a tip, he scores! It took 22 seconds, and Miro the Hero wins it for Dallas. So Miro Heiskanen on a give-and-go play with Matt Duchesne capitalized quickly here in the extra frame as Duchesne from the near wing, just a soft backhand pass on top of the blue paint, and Miro Heiskanen crashing the net behind Ryan Green, deflected it with a backhand that went through the wickets of Arvid Soderblom, and the Stars win it 4-3 in OT. So what a tremendous game we had here on Ultimate Sports Media Watchalongs here tonight between the Hawks and the Stars, as the Stars extend their point streak to 12 straight games, the longest such streak since 2019 for this organization. They're now back to within 7 of the Colorado Avalanche if the President's Trophy does matter to any Stars fans out there as they come through with 2 points here in comeback fashion, sorta, against the Blackhawks. They came back down 2-0, led it 3-2, and ultimately won it 4-3. In overtime. A recap of the scoring in this game. Bertuzzi started it off with his 27th of the year, deflecting a Levshunov shot, as that was a secondary assist also given to Frank Nazar. And then Sam Rinzel, his third goal of the year, his third career NHL goal came from Teravainen and Oliver Moore, who got hurt on that play and did not return in the game for the Chicago Blackhawks. Then the Stars started to catch fire. Nathan Bastian, his sixth of the year from Bischel and Beck. That fourth line of Beck, Bastian, and Blackwell, tremendous for the Dallas Stars in this game. Then Ritzkovian, or I should say Maverick Bork, with his 13th of the year from Bunting, and they're giving Ritzkovian credit for the power play goal, as it looked like Bork should have shot it in, but it's been credited to Ritzkovian, his 10th of the year from Bork and Lindell. And then Connor Bedard, his 26th of the year, tied it from Teravainen. Nazar getting his second assist. And then Miro the hero, Miro Heiskanen, in overtime for the Stars, gets it done on a give-and-go play with Matt Duchene. So 4-3 the final in overtime in favor of the Stars, as Dallas outshot Chicago in that game 32-15. They outhit them 27-10. The Hawks, though, with more block shots, they had 22 to the Dallas Stars 9. So off I go into the Sunday night, as I'll be back with you on Tuesday for a matchup between the Sharks and the Sabres. The Sabres are in a crazy one with the Lightning right now. I'm going to go catch the end of that game. If you're interested, go watch it too. But for now, I bid adieu from Dallas, with the Stars beating the Blackhawks 4-3 in overtime. Miro Heiskanen, the overtime hero in this one. I'll talk to you all again on Tuesday from Buffalo. My name is Jaric Rubel. Thanks so much for spending this Sunday night here with me in Dallas, where the Stars take it 4-3 on the road over the Chicago Blackhawks. And again, want to just say rest in peace Troy Murray, one of the greats in Chicago sports history, Chicago sports radio history, gone far too soon at age 63.